well, a little background about me. Been doing virtual worlds for 7 years now. A lot of open source VR development, and when it comes to like making virtual worlds, it's very fun, time consuming, but it's hard to make a living out of it. And I think that NFTs and Web3 really help solve the missing value loops for people to make it more than just a hobby. And so the thing is, there's a lot of friction and onboarding into Web3. And so we kind of started out with a Discord bot, and you can interact with it just by typing commands into Discord. So like in terms of like the metaverse, we kind of think of it as something that it goes beyond just one platform. It is multi-platform, and we're not trying to build, just another virtual world with Webaverse. It's kind of more of the connective tissue between all the other worlds. And all the other worlds like Decentraland and Crypto Voxels and Janus and all these other great projects, they all have a Discord community. So why not just start there, meet users where they're at? So on Discord, what we have is a bot, and this bot allows you to mint NFTs with drag and drop. So I'll just drag and drop an image. You can do different NFT types. So I'll mint this image here by typing .mint, and then boom, it mints it onto a sidechain. And so there's no cost, it's instant. And if you want to move it to the main chain and soon the layer 2, we're working on Matic integration, then it's accessible on the global marketplace and there can be value flowing through there. When you mint something using the bot, it kind of takes you down a rabbit hole. You get this link to the asset, you click this link, and then we have different representations of these NFTs. One of them is, in your inventory. So if I type .inventory into Discord, page 2, you'll see, in the command line version, there's your NFT with IPFS hash and everything. And then when you click it, it shows you this trading card preview. Trading cards are kind of like this kind of native collectible format. A lot of people think of collectibles like digital pets or trading cards. So here's one of them. And then you could trade it. You could transfer to mainnet. You could set it as your avatar, add it to your loadout. That's like a future thing. You could burn it. Try in Webaverse. So this takes you into kind of like this 3D area in which you could view what your NFT looks like in the virtual world. I probably have too many tabs open. We'll see. And there it is. And so then with the Discord bot, you could also hit that play. It's going to DM you a link, or it DMs you, and that takes you into the virtual world. If you want to go into the multiplayer world, we have multiplayer realms. If you want to transfer the NFT to somebody, I'll transfer it right now to, so that was NFT number 39. I'll transfer it to my friend.
Search up her name. Always send it to me, Jin.
I'll send you an NFT also. In fact, just to show, like, it doesn't have to be just images. You could mint 3D models as well. So here I minted a 3D model. It's a bowl of cereal. I'm not sure if the image preview is working great, but there it is. And I'm going to transfer that NFT to Penguin.
I love cereal. Thank you so much.
And so it's interesting because it does all this kind of like real time. You can even do like RuneScape style trading as well. So you can do .trade and a username, and instead of just like typing addresses and whatnot, you have very easy kind of like Discord handles, which we're kind of used to already. And so I can add like to this trade like 30 silk to it. I can add let me see. Add 31. Let it go. For trade. I'll look at that later. But yeah, we can trade fungible and non-fungible tokens at the same time directly in Discord, which opens up this like, add FT. Oh, I see. Add FT 130. Oh, there it is. So I added 30 silk, and I could also add, I'll just do number 12. Add NFT 12 for 112. So I am now trading 30 fungible tokens and 1 non-fungible token to my friend. I'll hit check mark. Cool. So yeah, we created this kind of like easy drag and drop interface to Web3 and Discord so that we could essentially everybody in the server now can interact with the blockchain, without having any prerequisite software they had to install. And so that was like step one. And step two is, the things that you're minting and trading in Discord can now be accessible in the virtual world. So now it's trading. Okay, I'll show you the virtual world. So if you type .play on Discord, or if you hit play on the website, it will take you into the virtual world. Let me see if I can make the screen bigger. So we're building this in the browser. It's all made with open source ingredients. If you need to change your avatar, you could mint something, or you could drag and drop something. I will drag and drop another avatar here real quick. Just something generic. Let me see. I'll add this cool orange. Cool potato. Okay. So you can drag and drop directly into the browser window, and when you hit tab, your inventory shows you the NFTs, the stuff that you minted in Discord or from the website. And so it's kind of like designing around the user instead of like designing around virtual land, which is something that we want to explore, because all the other virtual worlds, Decentraland, Somnium Space, CryptoVoxels, they kind of go with the land first approach where they sell empty land and then people make stuff on it. What we want to do is make a really cool virtual world in which we have custom avatars, we have VoIP, it integrates into Discord, and then like the land can be more so like a portal into other worlds. So it's all connected by this street. And this street is season 1. And we're thinking every 10 weeks or so, kind of like same as Fortnite, the street will expand with new features, new content, new collaborations, um, and that allows us like some flexibility as to like what things are working, what things aren't working, and so we can kind of fine tune and adjust along the way. And we really just want to make like a really fun experience first, even if you like there was no crypto aspect to it. So kind of stuck below the world. And so with Webaverse, we also are tying into different editors like Blender and Spoke, and then that export into NFT. So we're trying to be composable, not reinvent stuff, but rather just glue things together. And we're exploring NFT pets, NFT vehicles and mounts. I can show you a video here where, let me see. So in this video, you see there's like this pet. It's user-generated content in terms of pets. And that's very different from like Pokemon or even Axes and stuff, things that are just made from like a studio and then distributed. We want to explore how crypto artists can collaborate on new canvases such as operable NFTs. And the reason also why we're on a sidechain is, as you can see in this video, Avier opens up a chest and then starts walking over these objects. That is Silk and NFTs. If we were operating on the Ethereum mainnet, it would have costed a fortune to just pick up that loot. But because it's all on a sidechain, it's instant and fast and free. And we want to explore interactions between NFTs. Virtual worlds are like the ultimate compositor for such. So one thing that he just did was throw like NFT pet food, in which like your pet can then chase around and follow. And eventually we want pets to become smarter. So we're exploring multi-format NFTs in a way of like, it's kind of like a tokenized GitHub project in a way. The original creator can update it. There can be version control. So version 1.1 of the pet can come out with smarter attributes or higher graphics. And here's like an example where, going into a place where there's aggro NPCs. So it's just building on top of these building blocks, like first pets and now like NPCs with detection. And it's a virtual world where we're exploring like, okay, what if like we have these building blocks to make fun gameplay out of it? And how do these NFTs interact with each other? And that's the kind of stuff that we really want to explore. There's just blue skies in terms of types of interactions that you can have when you open up the virtual world where everything becomes tokenized, and then creators can earn royalties from it. And it's really fun because there's a lot of collaborations happening in the crypto art scene between visual artists and audio and visual artists. But now imagine if like you can have the game being totally tokenized from the aspect of pets, wearables, avatars, land, NPCs, animations, background music, scores, everything. It's the ultimate collaboration. And so that's what we're exploring, and we want to connect it between all of these different communities. And because we're really interested in building a web, not so much of, another virtual world, which it's like people already have land and multiple platforms and attention's kind of split between them. We want to meet users where they are. And one of the reasons why we called it Silk was like an analogy to the Silk Road, because we've always been interested in interoperability, and we have the tech, but we don't have the incentives. And the ancient Silk Road connected the world back then, thousands of years ago, through value loops, through trade. And that trade route also brought with it culture and other things. So it's kind of an analogy of connecting these disparate virtual worlds and communities through value loops so that there's more incentives to be interoperable. And we see that happening with crypto art, because crypto artists want to have their art galleries being on display in these different places. But it's going to evolve from just 2D art into operable NFTs, where you can meet up somebody and have a battle with your axes, or play a game of Gods Unchained, or, drop a hoverboard and skate around. And all these things are made by users, and could be, we're working on a provenance inspector in which you could essentially kind of view the world in matrix vision and see who made what, who owns it, last sale price, all that kind of information that you get from OpenSea and whatnot. So that's basically the premise of Metaverse. We're still in season 0 right now. And what we're interested in is working with people to help us build and maintain this project. It's got a lot of moving parts. We have bots, we have the 3D world aspect, code's open source, and so if anybody's interested in learning more, come chat with us in Discord. There's a lot of exciting stuff happening in the pipeline, such as an animation system. So people can collaborate on making short films, cutscenes together, and things that can loop and kind of market the NFTs. Because when it comes to NFTs, it's like we're not trying to sell the product; we're trying to sell the story, and we want to put the power in the artist's hands to create their own stories from it. And I think this could be the future of work for VR, where people show up in virtual reality in the future to essentially create these virtual productions. And that is a collaboration that I think is very fitting for AR and VR technology, because you've got, avatar and world creators become set designers and costume artists and directors and animation experts and lighting. All these parts come to play, and it's the ultimate playground for composability in many different aspects. So, yeah.
I mean, to me, it sounds like the only limit here is someone's imagination. Yeah?
In a sense, yeah. I mean, we could pretty much build anything. We're not limited to one aesthetic, and we're not limited to kind of mid-space, because the parcels are kind of more like landmarks that can teleport you into other worlds. So if you made something in Decentraland or Crypto Voxels and you want to link it to the street, you could do that, and then it could traverse you into that world.
I love the nod to Snow Crash with the naming of the street.
Yeah, definitely a heavy inspiration. Reread that book last year, and we truly do want to build the metaverse as inspired when reading that book.
But not with a virus, I hope. Not another virus.
Yeah, we'll try and avoid some of the pitfalls of it, but we want to do stuff like, when Hyro was able to walk past the force field to the Black Sun, we have a command in the Discord. It's called .redeem, and it allows you to unlock channels in Discord based on an NFT that you have in your wallet. And that NFT as well in a virtual world will allow you to walk through a place on the street. So you could access places in the virtual world.
So you have that, I mean, they really were describing smart contracts, right? When they were talking about all the scripts that ran underneath that made everything work. They were really talking about smart contracts that got executed at certain, on certain conditions.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. The association that kind of maintains the street protocols and whatnot. I think when it comes to like Web3 as well, like we're trying to build all that. Like NFTs are kind of like the here to think about them in terms of like media players. The browser is like the ultimate universal media player for NFTs. And so we're trying to build it all like using web technology and WebGL. It's pretty young compared to other ecosystems like native land, like Unity and Unreal. 10 years old now, but it's getting way more advanced. And with WebAssembly and WebGPU, the gap in performance is going to very quickly close. And so like really rich experiences will be deliverable to, everybody, because the web is like got the most reach out of any platform.
Definitely. And I mean, it certainly speaks to me because I run Linux on my ThinkPad, as a nod to Vinay's earlier discussion. My ThinkPad
Yeah.
just keeps going and going and going.
I have a ThinkPad right next to me running Linux.
And so I feel sort of locked out of some of these other virtual worlds because I don't run Windows, right? But this looks really appealing to me.
Yeah, it runs pretty smooth. A lot is WebAssembly underneath the hood. And if you ever get VR in the future, all this stuff runs VR as well.
Cool. I mean, most of that's tied to Windows also, so I'm waiting for that to not be.
Yeah. One of the things we want to explore is animating your character just using VTuber software. Mm-hmm. Rather than being in VR to, move your hands and whatnot. It's kind of like you can animate your character just using a webcam.
Cool. Lots of potential. That's great. Thank you for sharing all of the new developments, Jin.